The perspective of a policy and advocacy organization to have a shared vision about what we're trying to achieve, then we can really work on the policies, which are our levers to achieve that vision. So this is what the entire community of healthcare wants to achieve. And when it comes to policy, if you can develop policy priorities that are supported by all those various stakeholders, you are going to be so much more able to achieve what you want to achieve when you go up to Capitol Hill, when you're talking to health plans, when you're trying to convince employers. If you can say, really this is a shared vision, all of these various stakeholders are about this policy to achieve this vision, you're so much further ahead of the game.
To me, it requires two things. In our advocacy agenda for continued support for practice transformation and payment reform and greater investment in primary care, we can use the document to say, here's what primary care is, and it needs to be paid for differently and better than it is today in order to be able to deliver and support all of these elements of the shared principles. At the same time, it requires primary care to challenge itself to say that we actually have to deliver on this. So the practice transformation needs to continue to occur.
I think dissemination is a key component. I think marketing, the importance of them, both in academic, practice, and policy settings is extremely important. And raising the consciousness of organizations.
I think they're a really practical tool that really could be used as a checklist of sorts. I don't want to diminish them in any way by calling it a checklist, but I think a good set of ground rules or a foundation or a framework to examine, to do an honest examination of care models, payment models. I think of the many ACO, Accountable Care Organization models that are emerging now. Wouldn't it be interesting to bring the list of shared principles to some of those models, those organizations, and have us really look at those honestly and critically and think, are we embedding these principles? Are these reflected in the model that we're proposing or actually delivering right now?
Having shared principles that are agreed to by such diverse organizations means that we can actually start changing the healthcare system. It's all well and good to have a set of principles and have 233 organizations say, yes, we like them, but that's only the beginning. It's hard to change systems, both on the ground and in policies. So the more diverse stakeholders you have saying the same thing and why it's important to them, we have a lot better chance of making that change.
My hope is that we will see these shared principles of person-centered care incorporated initially, most especially in medical education, starting at the medical school and residency training program level. There's a lot of comprehensiveness to these shared principles, and I think that people can identify which pieces they want to focus on initially, or perhaps based on that, something of a gap analysis. Where am I now? Where are they farthest apart?